So you have a very interesting relationship to the university in particular. You are currently in your Masters of Innovation and Technology Management, but you also did your bachelor's here. And you're originally from Kazakhstan. To me, I'm really interested in knowing like what made you choose to do your bachelor's here, and what was it that made you stick? And particularly, know, you work for two companies, primarily with Build It at the moment. You seem to have an affinity for Estonia. I'm curious to know, like, what was it that made you stay here, Merey?
Thank you, Lachlan. First of all, hello to the audience. I see my friend Anel is also here listening to us. I think there was at some point like another guy I knew, but probably he left. Yeah, thank you, Lachlan. Basically, I was actually reflecting on why I decided to come to Estonia like after high school recently because I was also interviewed as some other like international students in Tartu by like local newspaper like Tartu Postimees. And basically, like even though right now I do appreciate like all the like digital bureaucracy and this local startup ecosystem and many other great things that Estonia has got to offer. Like Ajar is also mentioned, like it's a great place to live, like overall. And I mean, everyone else probably agrees too. Uh, but I guess like back in the day, I was just thinking like it's gonna be a nice, quiet place where I could like focus on myself, like focus on my studies, focus on my personal development, and I just kind of like dived into that. But ever since then, I didn't regret because I got to meet like all these nice people like Sabina, Ajar, Gabriela, and everyone else. So yeah, it was a really great experience. And about like working as well, I did have like I think a couple of internships during my bachelor's, both in like marketing and communications. One was also for the University of Tartu, thanks from it also being like an international business, international international ambassador, student ambassador at the University of Tartu. Yes, sorry, I forgot the Slovak acronym. But yeah, like it was a great experience, and I think after my bachelor's, when I was applying for masters, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try to combine my studies and work at the same time, which was also like a really cool experience. If you could have a more flexible job, I guess maybe when you work like in a rigid environment from 9 to 5, it's a bit harder to manage. But some of my course mates has done that as well. So there's like plenty of opportunities. But for example, why do I work? Oh, I ended up working in two companies. It's because actually, I applied once to work at Tartu Science Park, but like you said, referring to your question that you asked everyone about the language requirements, I didn't speak Estonian fluently, and I still have not gotten to speak it fluently still. I'm guilty of that. But basically, that's why I didn't qualify for the position back in the day for the Tartu Science Park. But the person that like I guess saw my CV or resume or application, he basically referred me to his friend who was looking for a person to do like these things for the Build It accelerator in Latvia. So that's how I ended up in our company. But and because this company was also, I guess, co-founded by an employer who has also founded like different ventures. I also ended up working in BIA as well, Baltic Innovation Agency. And I don't want to blabber too much. If you want like me to answer specific questions, I'm happy to jump into that. But otherwise, I can just keep going on.
No, it's really interesting. I think you're seeing the university from two different sides, that maybe some of us internationals might only see from one half. And I can see that you've got quite a diverse skill set. You've got marketing background, you have, communications as well, but you've also got coding, UX, programming as well, like under your tool belt. Like, how have you found ways to kind of focus your interests, like, and find opportunities that kind of make use of all of your skills?
Actually, like back when during bachelor's, I was thinking that I'm gonna focus on marketing and like hone my skills in that specialty. So I was kind of like trying to discover many things around that, but then I was thinking that like like, wait a second, like I can do like more than that. And I was also taking some courses. Like if anyone is a student at the University of Tartu still, I highly recommend courses from Delta Sandbox as well. They're pretty practical, connected. You get to work with like different companies in Estonia. If you're also looking for like kind of this bridging experience to get into the industry. But in general, like maybe a master of everything is a master of nothing at the same day. Like so when you're a generalist and you don't like kind of focus on some things like very deeply, maybe it also has its kind of disadvantages. But in general, like if I speak about what helped me, I don't know, broaden my experiences is just like attending different events. Like when I had an internship at Startup Estonia, I just like kind of immersed myself into this like fascinating ecosystem of different like startups and like I don't know, big money, big business, like this finance bro, whatever. But it was like all fun still because I got to know really interesting people. And through that, I discovered like different volunteering opportunities. Maybe I got to connect with some other people. And I guess at the end of the day, it also helped me like to got fascinated by different like specific fields or like how they I don't know, build products or like how do they hire people and so on. And but if you ask me for example, like what helped me the most so far is just being open to anything and everything. And maybe even, for example, me being here is like me just being also open to this experience and like, I don't know, talking to the people or like, for example, 7 attendees who are listening to us here, maybe like whoever much gets to listen to us, like also on Facebook Live if you stream it. But yeah, I feel like I'm straying away from the point again, but you can like steer me back in, Lachlan.
Well, I guess I'm interested in like the jobs that you currently hold. So one of them is marketing and communication specialist, but also project management and being a consultant for BIA.
Mhm.
Do you
Mhm.
want to talk more about maybe what that looks like, what your day-to-day kind of activities are, and how you found applying what you've learned at university into these like positions?
Well, well, I mean, okay, like truth to be told, I did have some courses like in marketing or like let's say like project management during my bachelor's, but I feel like a lot of things you just acquire like in practice, like when you face the reality, probably maybe the same was like in other like in IT law, like in like material science. So when you like come like to actually do the things, you kind of see that okay, they don't do like all this by the book, but maybe they try to apply different, I don't know, techniques. And like in IT, probably like Ajar has better experience. She can like correct me and like compliment me, whatever I say. Like probably like I mean, different teams work with different kind of frameworks and so on. But like in my job for Build It Accelerator, which is actually now like Build It VC, it's been a bit rebranded. Right now, I'm not being active right now because they getting the new like fund to invest into startups or something like this. So right now I'm not really active there, which is maybe great for me as I'm trying to graduate and get more time.
Mm,
But with Baltic Innovation Agency, but sorry, like about Build It as well, I was mainly just creating like social media content, blog posts, building a newsletter audience, spreading the word about ongoing and upcoming um, startup batches. For example, just helping to recruit some of the startups into our programs, maybe telling a bit more about our current portfolio companies and what makes them awesome, like how does it stand out on the market.
mm,
And about my job in a Baltic Innovation Agency, basically it's more like a consulting agency, and we take on different like European funded projects, like in different diverse like completely like verticals and industries. For example, like there are some hydrogen projects. I was mostly involved in projects related to entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. So I've been mostly helping with setting up like and running different hackathon programs, accelerator programs, maybe creating like different opportunities. Like we had one program for Ukrainian entrepreneurs who came to Estonia and wanted to like set up their own businesses here. Like right now, we are running one program in Idaviru region of Estonia, East Estonia, where we're helping the local youth, like I think 16 to like up to 30 years old, to again kind of reskill themselves, learn more about like different fields, like maybe set up their own businesses. So it's more like about, I guess, like one part of it, of course, could be like proposal writings and actually getting these grants from the European Union. And another part of it would be like reporting to the European Union, like writing deliverables and explaining, okay, how did you spend these budgets and how did you actually implement all of those things that you've promised?
Mm.
And another part is, of course, like being like on a ground and actually like conducting this, like, I don't know, different events or like running different programs, like launching crowdfunding campaigns and whatever the project entails, basically.
Yeah. No, that's huge. And like so many different aspects and angles you can take for future work as well, particularly with the European Union. Um, I guess coming back to the university, like balancing your social time, your work time, and your study, like what would be your advice right now, like to any students that are considering taking on another job or looking in the market to be ahead of like their peers and colleagues? Do you have any advice for how to approach that?
I think like I mean about social time and everything, I feel at some point something suffers either way, right? If you need to graduate, you kind of like put something on the like on a back seat of your car and be like, okay, I cannot socialize right now.
Yeah.
And you're like probably going just you're zoning in on one thing, but in general, like actually, this is one of the also maybe regrets that I have like during my studies that I didn't maybe hang out more with my, I don't know, friends or course mates and some other people because I was either focused on just I don't know, either studies or like doing some work or this or that. So I
Mm.
mean it's just everyone has their own preferences, I guess. But also sorry, what was the question? I
Just advice for like whether
ah
you would recommend it, and also just in general, just finding
Like
that
one
time.
thing, if anyone is listening to us, but you guys don't have LinkedIn account, please create LinkedIn account. Like for sure, like you don't need it, but like it's really like beneficial to have it, especially in a more like smaller scale or like ecosystem such as maybe Baltics market, I would say. I don't know how other people find different opportunities, but I feel like if you're applying for jobs, like LinkedIn is very important and to build your kind of profile there. And
Mm.
I guess like especially if you're kind of active and you make some like influencer like posts, like it's even greater. But
I know Facebook in Estonia too is incredibly popular. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can also find like actually like I think sometimes if you even scroll like boringly on Instagram like for stories, you might also like see different nice opportunities like
mm,
the jobs or like job calls like or something like that.
mm,
I think actually Sabina, one of like this is how I also discovered this like position in my scene. Like I was just scrolling on social media on Facebook or something. And and because everything is out there as long as you consume like all this information. But
mm.
also I guess maybe which I'm not doing myself really greatly, but I wish I would, and I would recommend everyone is also to kind of network, but not just network, like hey, let's exchange contacts and like do business. Like this is like I mean, who does it, right? But like make genuine connections and be like I guess show an interest in the people you from the field you want to work at, whether it's I don't know chemistry or IT and like political science, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's really good advice. Thank you, Mary. I think your perspective, particularly how long you've been in Estonia since moving here, like it's really interesting to hear.